Hello.
Hi.
My name is Dewan Hayes. I live at 5835 Corby Street. I'm born and raised here in Omaha, and I'm here to oppose this project. Why am I here to oppose this project today? There was a really interesting statement that Mr. Lanahaw made about what the next generation of Omaha wants. Interestingly enough, I think I might be the youngest person in this room. I wonder why that is. Many people my age are actually at work right now, trying to figure out how to eat, how to feed ourselves, if we're going to be able to afford rent next month. And here we are talking about a building that will not house us, that will not feed us, that will not connect us. And it's happening all the while building a monument to insurance and corporatism on top of a publicly owned temple of knowledge, the library. It's important that this be said because symbols are very important. We talked about the skyline. What does the skyline really mean? What does the skyline truly represent? Who does it reflect? I ask these questions because it doesn't seem like we talk about them. The buildings that are there are not me. They're not my neighborhood. They're not my grandma. They're not my nephews. They're not the people who are putting their lives together to live and be here and are trying to survive and are asking to be listened to. Instead, they are monuments to money. Massive monuments of money that consume how much energy? Have we talked about how much how much energy this building will consume? Will it be producing its own energy? Will it be entirely solar powered or independent? Most likely not. The thing is, we have not had this conversation as a community. It has been everyone here in their suits talking about what our future is going to look like. Believe it or not, we don't wear suits. We show up as ourselves, and we have very frank conversations about what it is we want. I believe in people. I believe in the place that we live in, and I believe in the planet. This building, this beacon, it does not represent my future, our collective future, if you talk to any of us, if you listen to what any of us have to say. Truly. With all the things that are happening in the world, how is this building solving our problems? It's not. And notice how they're trying to, well, it has to move quickly. It's got to move fast. If it doesn't move fast, it doesn't happen. Then it's obviously not a good plan. Because you know what a good plan is? It takes its time, it works with people, and it understands that the world changes. It's changing every day. That's why I'm here, to show you in your face, to this very present day, that the generations that you think you're handing this off to don't want it. We don't want this. You know what we want? Our planet back, our city back, our culture, to be invested in us, to ask us what we want and to make it actually happen instead of giving us these things that we didn't ask for. I'm raising my voice because this is one of the few places that it can actually happen.
Dewan, I'm going to ask you to.
Yes.
We've got.
I'm sure. Yes, we got a lot of time. We're rushing. We're rushing. We got the next thing to do. You can have me removed. I get it. The point is that as you are rushing in here to get your cases heard, to get the TIF approved, to get your plans and papers shuffled, people are suffering at the very feet, at the base of where you're trying to build this building. They're going to the library so they can have a refuge from the world that does not care about them. What this site will go on one of the last places in downtown Omaha that is free and open to the public and does not require them to prove their worthiness to enter. Think about that. Yes, Mr. Rosenbaum, I am almost done, but I'm going to make it clear that this generation is here, and we are not settling with this. So, my ask to you, if you listened to me, and if you listened to the presentations, that you'll say no. Slow them down. See what happens. Watch them have to recalibrate and actually listen to people. Watch how inflation and the collapse of capitalism, as we speak, happens. And who is going to save you? Who is going to come together? The people, the community, us. Not a building. So, I'll leave it at that.
All right.
Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Dewan.
Have a great day.
All right, thank you. Any other opponents? Dewan, did you want to stay and they'll address your comment?
Not really, because I
All
could
right.
stay and wait. I could stay and wait and hear. And I've listened. And I've listened to the talking points that have been delivered to us.
Okay. All right.
But rarely are they ever listening to what
Dewan,
we have to say.
I'm gonna cut
I
you off.
understand. Okay, cut me off.
All right.
But I need you to listen.
Dewan,
I came here to raise my voice.
Dewan, we listened.
because-
If you don't sit down now, I'm going to have you removed. It was just that you were leaving, and I wanted you to know that there's going to come back and have a rebuttals. But if you don't want to listen to it, that's all right. So which do you want to go? Do you want to leave or do you want to sit?
That's a really good question. This is really wise. This is something we should all practice right now. I am really upset because as a young person, I'm sitting here watching a bunch of old white guys decide my future in front of me.
I'm going to ask you to sit down. Otherwise,
and so I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit down.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dewan. All right. Thank you. Any other opponents wishing to speak? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Where you were talking about young talent coming in and the studies that your architects and people have done.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
So I'm going to try to stay focused on this project here.
Yeah.
I don't have the answers for the world, but we do care about our city, and we think we're moving it forward in a way that employers want.
Can you give your name and address again, please?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
sorry.
Jason Lanahaw Real Estate Company, 177 Wright Plaza. So, and I will tell you, Mr. Rosenbaum, that the folks that we have on our team are folks with international experience. They come from New York City. They come from Los Angeles. They do projects in London. They do projects in Paris. I'd say, I'm not saying everyone has 100% of the answers, but we got a pretty dang good team of folks that have been guiding us for well over a year.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the board? Mike, did you want to add anything?
Just recommend approval.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Move for approval.
We have a,
What a waste of time. Thanks.
have a good day. We have a motion and a second. Debbie, please record the vote.
Pate,
Yes.
Sotolongo.
Yes.
Rosacker,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
approved 7-0.
Okay, the next